Hey guys, welcome to our second video of the year for the FreeSkate Jesse Ryan. It's been very hard to do all these type of, events this year just because things have been canceled. COVID, as you know, skiers are in and out. It's been really trying times to, be excited about the sport right now. And I think sports in general, just because things have just not been normalized and everything's just very
watered down almost.
Yeah, just because a lot of people aren't skating in a lot of programs. They're getting one out of the entire year. It's just kind of, to me, it's been very uninspiring. But we'll do our best we can. We just want to quickly talk about some skaters here, what we've seen, in the past, few weeks. And here's our opinion. So we're going to start in here with the Russian women. Ryan, let's feed into it. So who do you want to talk about first?
So the Russian women's event was quite the event to watch, regardless of having not everyone there, as we know, Evgenia Medvedeva was not there from her injury, and then she ended up having COVID. She didn't have the training time. I think her back was still hurting her, so she opted out of the event, and Elena Kosternaya was not there. So those were two really big pieces missing, especially with Elena Kosternaya.
And I really love Kosternaya. You guys, she has made me such a fan of hers. I think she's such a tremendous skater. To me, she's by far the best skilled in the sport for women's in the skating. I just think she has everything. She goes from start to finish in top speed. So I was really bummed that she wasn't there.
Yeah, that was definitely a big piece missing. But you know what? Thank goodness the Russian ladies are so strong in general. It was such a good event to watch. That was finally the first event this year that I was like, this is a competition. What was it? I don't even know how many quads we saw in the whole event. It was an absurd amount of quads. They do more quads than the men, for sure.
They literally can run the women's division from 1 to 10 almost. Half of them would be
Russia could qualify 8 spots for the Worlds, they would qualify 8 spots for the Worlds.
It's just ridiculous. They're unbelievable.
I have a note here. There were 7 ladies after the short program within 7 points of first place. That's less than a triple combination. That's insane.
And that's without Kosternaya there.
That's without Kosternaya.
So that would be 8.
That's insane. It was anyone's game. Everyone was so close. And you know what? In the end, Anna Sherbakova ended up winning her 3rd title in a row. She's now 3-time Russian champion. And also, fun fact on this, it's the first time since 2000, 2001, and 2002 that a Russian lady has actually won back-to-back-to-back Russian titles, going back to those years when Arina Slutskaya won. So good for her. It's been quite a while since we've seen a three-peat, just because we have Russians coming up every year that can just do these amazing things. And so you know what that leads me into? I want to talk about Kamila Valieva. She was the young little jumper there that came in and just absolutely wowed me. And you know what? I knew she was good last year, but I didn't pay that much attention to her. This year, I was like, my mind was like, oh my god, this is your first year as a senior competitor, and you skate like that. She was toe-to-toe with Sherbakova, with her artistry and her skating skills, and it's very hard to believe that somebody like that was a junior skater, and she's so young coming up.
She's unbelievable. I mean, that was the first time I've actually seen her skate, and I was mind blown away. I said to Ryan, this girl is the next one. I don't know who's going to stop her in a year or two.
I know.
She has everything from a program to great skating skills to jumps. Her jumps are crisp, they're clean.
Her PCS was only 1 point off Sherbakova in the FreeSkate.
Just remind yourselves, though, you guys, this girl's 14.
Yeah, insane.
14 years old, and she's putting up those numbers.
Tell
me another 14-year-old that puts up those numbers.
You won't. She was essentially tied for first after the short program. I think it was less than half a point.
It's truly remarkable.
It was, she had 80... or 79.99. Sherbakova had 80.31.
Sherbakova was very...
So it's a third of a point.
Right? She was
okay,
sick
so
going into
there was a little bit of this drama going around I've seen about Sherbakova being questioned whether she should have competed or not, because she had a fever actually before her short program. She was... I don't know the circumstances around that. I don't know if it was COVID related or what it was. I don't know if coaches were pushing her to compete. I feel like, given by the statement she has said and how she looked, I feel like she really wanted to compete, and I think they gave her the option to withdraw and the option to compete, and everyone kind of just agreed with what she was wanting to do. I mean, clearly, I don't think it's a big deal. I mean, clearly she skated lights out, and she won her 3rd title, and I mean, good for her. That's a champion right there. So I wouldn't.
Yeah, I thought she was really good too. She's not my favorite though, all around. Like,
well,
she
you know
really
what?
isn't.
She had 183 in the long. That's insane. 183.
Yeah,
in the
that's
long. That's crazy.
Remember though, these type of judges and these type of events up everyone's scores.
We know
so you gotta relax.
Russian judging. It's
That's what I mean.
Handing out candy to babies or something like
No,
that.
I don't think that. I just think that everything's always in your nationals. You're always jumping marks here and there. So,
oh, for sure.
You know, it is what it is. But
so
who's 3rd?
Trusova was 3rd. She got 246.37. She was 75.76 in the short program, 170.61 in the long program. You know what I liked what Trusova did this year is I like that she downgraded the technical content of her short program to skate clean. It was really nice to see her go out there and just skate a nice clean performance. I did notice big time the difference in her PCS. I noticed a difference in her skating skills. She looked more enjoyable to watch. She looked a little bit more at ease. It wasn't so technical heavy, go for these quads because you need all these points because your PCS isn't good enough. I think her PCS scores were definitely still inflated quite a bit, but I feel like her scores that she was getting last year with around 68 is what she should be getting now.
Well, the problem right now, the drama right now is, what's the coach? What's his coach?
Terry?
No,
And
Trusova's
with Plashenko now.
Yeah, Plashenko's upset, thinks that she should have got better marks. They weren't happy with Sherbakova's jumps and certain things were not clean. Whatever. All I gotta say though to Plashenko is Trusova still is not a good enough skater, and she's getting still too good of a program mark. To me, she's still she's not near the top of the game when it comes to when you want to look at all the nations and you know Rika Kira and all that. Like she's not in the top.
If you're comparing Sherbakova and you're comparing Trusova, and there's only a 3.5 point difference in your PCS in the free program, I'm sorry, that's so far off. Like now she should be getting the 68, and Sherbakova should be getting the 76, 77. That's, I think, the difference. It's quite a big difference. Except for Tuktamasheva, I didn't want to touch on her. So I know she has a lot of fans, especially in Russia. Queen Liza took to the ice, and you know what? Good for her. It seemed like she has been around for so long, you guys. She has been around longer than any other skater in Russia that I can think of in so long. And she's only 23 years old. It seems like she should be like 29 going on 30 because she's actually been around so long. But she's so young. But you know what? She went for her triple axels. They didn't pan out. She did lose some levels in her step sequences. She was down to a level 3 in both programs. She lost levels in her spins in both programs. And then the negative
I've always told you about those things with her, and I'm not a huge fan of her just for the sake of, I find she's very cliche every year. It's the same old program routine with her. It's never changed. It's never something change of dynamic. You know what I mean? Like I want to see someone who can change it. Like
a style.
Hanyu's this year. We'll get into it, but oh my god. Anyways,
let's finish with Russia.
But Ryan really likes tuts.
I do. I gotta respect her triple axel. I gotta respect how she keeps on trying to do the technical things to keep up with the ladies every year. She's always in there. She's always in the mix.
That's
you know
true.
what? Once in a while, she'll come out there and surprise you and win a medal somewhere where you're like, oh my god, how did you win that medal? And you know what? I really have to respect that, and I do enjoy watching her. I do always root for her. I hope she does the best. It's unfortunate she finished, I think, in 7th place. I don't know what that has to do with funding. I don't know how Russia funds their skaters, but her finishing 7th in the nationals might prove to be a really big challenge for her to get funding next year, but I'm not entirely sure.
All right, so we're going to jump into a couple of the Russian men. I'll just start off quickly because I want to talk about Kolyada. I'm so happy he's back. As you know from last year, or the year before, I should say. He's one of my favorites. You know what? He's very inconsistent. He was, but this year he's kind of feels like he's getting his jumps back. His skating is just so good. It's so filled. He's action packed, and his jumps are just massive. Massive.
His quad lutz is debatably the best in the world, in my opinion.
Yeah. And he's skating lights out right now. Like, really good for him. I'm glad he's coming back. He's not rushing and needing 100 quads right now. Just get yourself back in the game. Get your consistency there. Feel good. Mentally get there. And then, because I think the goal right now is to, do better at the Worlds. And then when it comes to the Olympics, you're ready to go. You got your consistency under your belt. You've got the programs. So I just want to see that of him. And that's what we're seeing so far in, the 2 times we've seen him this year. So I'm really, really proud of him. And he won.
Yeah.
So, yes.
And let me tell you, it must have felt so good for him to skate clean.
Yeah.
Because he
used to
deserved
pop
that
jumps
so much.
And
I was waiting for it. Every jump that he went into, I was like, oh, is this the one gonna pop? Oh, is this the one gonna pop? And he never popped one. I was like, oh, good for you. I was so proud of him. And you know what? His scores were massive. I don't remember him ever scoring this good. I mean, again, mind you, it's Russian judges. However, 296.15, that's less than 4 points away from 300. I mean, you are putting yourself right in the mix for a world medal.
Yes.
Down with that.
Yes.
102 in the short, 193 in the long. Like, hello? What country would not beg to have those kind of scores? That's insane. Second place was a very large drop-off. Makar Ignatov ended up with silver medal. So I don't know if that was so much a surprise because I know he's a really good skater. However, the skaters below Mikhail really didn't perform very well, except for the bronze medal winner. I didn't even know who this guy was. Mark Kondratiuk. I've literally never heard of him before. And he actually skated quite well. He had a lot of energy. He had 2 quad salchows, one in combination with the triple in his free skate. He had his triple axel. He did fall on his sequence. But I think the kid is only 17 years old, and he ended up getting 169 in the free skate. So that actually pulled him, kept him at the bronze medal. So he beat skaters like Mozlev, he beat Gomenek, he beat Samarin, and Makar ended up getting 167 in the free skates. And he ended up winning silver because he had a lead going over.
For me, it was all about Koyota, and that's all that mattered.
Yeah. I mean, other than that, then again, you know what? What nations? I don't know if you'd be really complaining at a skater getting 170 in the free skate. I think that's pretty good.
All right, moving on to Japan. And a couple of the, skaters we want to talk about. Well, there's a few. Shoma. Second place, I don't want to butcher the name, is?
Yuma Kageyama?
Sure. Sounds good. Second, Shoma Uno.
Mm-hmm.
First,
What's his
Yuzuru
name?
Hanyu.
What did you say?
Shoma Uno?
No, first place was...
Yuzuru Hanyu?
Yeah, what's his name? Louder?
Yuzuru. So anyways, we have to speak in this type of freaking mellow, because did you guys know that the fans that went to the Japanese skating, they were not allowed to make any noise? So wasn't it so crazy when Yuzuru came out? They're just like, so how do you? Nobody poos, nothing. Just calm down, just watch, and all you had to do was watch.
There was no poo raining down.
So, anyways, let's speak of third place fast here.
So Yuma Kageyama was third place. That guy he's a phenomenon now.
Yeah.
It's so young, so good. His jumping is so good for such a young guy. He didn't have his free skate. He kind of bombed in his free skate a little bit, and that ended up making him get third, because I feel like he actually could have beaten Shoma. But Shona...
He's a good skater, too.
Yeah, he's a very good skater.
So it's really good. The Japanese have 3 strong candidates now, which is really good because, you know what? They can take 3 to the Olympics, 3 to the Worlds, because they're going to be so dominant. So good for them to get that.
Yeah.
Second place, Shoma. Again, he really struggles with his inconsistency with his jumping. the last few years. And guys, when he falls, oh my gosh, I'm always like, oh.
When Shoma falls,
like,
I saw that. When Shoma falls, I feel like he's going to break every bone in his body.
Yeah, it's just crazy.
Like, it's like one of those like things that you drop from like the sky and they go like splat. Like he goes splat.
But he's a pretty good skater. He's a pretty good skater. I actually don't mind him. I have only positive things to say about him. I think, you know, he goes out there and does what he can. And with him, I always say it's what you see is what you get. You know what I mean? Like, you're not going to get more. You're not going to get less. It's kind of, that's who he is. And so for me, like, when he skates, it's like, oh, yeah, I've seen that. But he'll do it to how Shomo does it. And that's just... He's quick. He's a little guy. He's quick. He can jump. He's a pretty good jumper too. Like, get some height up there.
Shoma has trouble with consistency. That's his problem.
Yeah, it's just his jumps really can, you know, alter his
Okay, but these top
skating.
3 men in Japan, well, we all know Yuzuru Hanyu's score was off the charts, but Shoma and Kageyama's scores were nothing to be disappointed about. They were very, very strong. 284 and 278. Again, those scores are putting you in the top 3 in the world for sure.
Very good. And now, like, let's just get on to the friggin' king of the ice. Because
Did he entertain you? Because he wanted to let me entertain you.
Right? Amazing. Okay, there's some, like, weirdness that I'm seeing on, like, YouTube. People are commenting, like, oh, this wasn't this is my favorite of him. I didn't like this. I'm like, what did you want him to... This guy changes the dynamic of skating, meaning he doesn't have to always do the ballet, the perfect. He'll do taekwondo, he'll do ballet, he'll do upbeat, fun. This short program is everything for me. I think it's so different. He rocks it. Only Yuzuru can do that, and he's the only one who can skate the way he skates that way. I don't care who you want to put there. You will not get somebody that can replicate that type of skating in that short. Some people, I don't know if it's maybe Chen fans just trying to, like, you know, not appreciate it, but get over it because it's unbelievable. That's called, I always say, what do I always say about, you know, getting, you know, Olympic songs, winning songs, gold medal songs? Both are just tremendous, and I just think it was action-packed. It's so good. Everything I waited
step
for.
Sequence, hello.
Oh my god, it's just... Okay, they didn't give him marks on something. He got 0 on something. I don't know I can't remember what it was, if it was a step sequence or something like that. And I was like, okay. So yeah, your 0, you know, got a 0 in some kind of lost element, which no one knew and understood until we seen. All of a sudden it's like, why did he get 0s on there? And, you know, obviously his technical mark went up, and a lot of people are worried that, you know, the JSF, you know, the Japanese Skating Federation, is not giving him his most, you know, dominant scores. Seems like they're trying to, you know, push him back. I don't know what's going on there. But they're really going hard on him for some reason. Whatever, regardless it is, the other ones ain't gonna beat him.
319 with losing an element, put it that way.
Right, but his technical was so good. I don't even understand how they didn't have it. I don't get it.
His combination spin was not marked. It was 0.
Right, and he goes into his jump so much harder than everyone else. It's difficult. Especially that first one into that. Oh my god, it was everything. And also, I'd just like to quickly jump into his long program, free program. Did you notice how he's like, okay, so Nathan Chen doesn't have to go into his, you know, long programs and fill it. He ain't either. So I noticed this year for sure, he did a lot more skating and then doing his, you know, traditional jumps, and then did his, you know, his components that he had to do.
One of the things I noticed the most was him downgrading his skating skills slightly. I mean, not a lot. He still skates really, really well. But now you are toe-to-toe with your skating skills of Nathan Chen. You're not losing the marks, and you're saving your energy to do all your jumps. Did you not realize at the end of the program he didn't look winded?
Well, that's what I'm trying to say.
He was like dying.
That's what I'm saying, and that's why I always used to get into this big argument with... Well, I didn't get an argument, but, you know, I would say my piece of... you would watch the free programs of
Yeah.
both skaters, and you could see Hanyu had so much more in his programs that there's a reason why, you know, he might not land as perfectly, and, you know, I would say Chen's landing them perfect. Now, Hanyu's like, I'm not going to fill it, because I'm not getting the marks for it anyway, so screw it. I'll just do exactly what he does. I don't have to you know, bear it and show this. Everybody in the skating universe knows how good Yuzuru is. He doesn't even need to show it anymore.
And
it's like,
what happened to his scores?
Right.
They definitely didn't go down.
No. So, and then the short program is really going to be, I feel you guys, the short program is going to be the, you know, the battle there, because both of them are going to probably be able to reserve a lot of their energy into those free programs because it's not overloaded. So it's great.
Yeah.
But that short of Hanyu's is unbelievable. I have not seen and been more excited of a short program in so long.
Yeah, and can we talk about his entrance into the long program, into his free skate? His eyes and his like face and his readiness. Whoa, like talk about intense. He looked so ready to kill anyone.
He's the king.
That came into his way. Like, you were not messing with that boy that day. He was ready to pound.
You guys, I hope he actually, I was saying to Ryan, I hope he brings both of these programs back next year, just because he really is only doing maybe a couple more times.
I feel like especially
because the short's so good, I don't want to like see it gone. I like need to see it a little bit more.
Well, in this year where you're not performing it at all these Grand Prix events and stuff like that, I feel like a lot of these skaters that do have new programs this season will definitely keep them next year. I don't know why you would change a program when you've done it twice.
Yeah, I
like
mean,
total maximum maybe.
Yeah, so I'm hoping he keeps it, but it's just, he was unbelievable.
So we'll come back to part 2 here. As you can see, Jesse's absent for this, for the pairs and the ice dance part. So let's just get right into the Russian pairs. Now, how good was it to finally see Tarasova and Morozov show up to an event and skate 2 well-done programs? It's been so long, you guys, since they've done that, since honestly, like, probably before the 2018 season, when they were really gunning for like high placements, and then they had that awful Candyman song, and there was just, everything was all wrong, and then they had issues last year, and hello, the Bolero this year in the short program, I was like, oh my god. First, I was so scared when I found out that they were going to be skating to Bolero, because you guys know it's like a super famous piece of music made famous by the great British ice dancers Jane Torval and Christopher Dean, who won gold at the Olympics. And the music is no mercy. It starts off with that same beat, and it's the same repetitious beat over and over, but it gets stronger and stronger to the end, and you don't get any rest. It's just, you start off slow and it goes up, and by the end of the program you got to be really giving it. And so many people skate to it and they just can't do it, and I'm like, why are you choosing music that you can't skate to? But I was so impressed that their Bolero was on point, 80.55. Like I said, I was super apprehensive about it, but it was so nice to see. They had super Leo curl lifts, which were like musical highlights. I found, how do I describe this? You know how like a lot of Russian skaters tend to like sometimes just move their arms in hopes of like making it look like they're doing a lot of choreography or like a lot of steps to make it look difficult? I felt like they were doing that, however it made sense. So I wasn't even mad that their arms were going everywhere, because I think the music like was building, and you gotta give that type of stuff. And their skating is actually so good, they can actually afford to do that. So they 80.65, you guys, in the short. That's so good for them. I was so happy. I think that's by far the best program that they've had, short program, in so much time. I can't even remember the last short program I thought was good from them. It's a super hard piece to skate to. It was really, really well done. And then their free skate equally, it was so beautiful. I can't believe I'm gushing about Tarasova and Morozov, because I never do this, but I'm just so happy they ended up skating the way they did, and they definitely deserve that Russian national championship. Unfortunately for, I think, debatable favorites, they ended up placing second, was My mind's going blank. Oh my god, was Boykova and Kozlovsky. They were a few points off their best. They're a bit shaky on some landings. And you know what I actually found, which was weird, was their side-by-side spin. I was like, Dimitri stretched. Like, I don't know if his body was like in the weirdest position, but I noticed his like leg was like not stretched out properly. He was like hunched. I was like, what are you doing? So it looked really bad. I'm like, come on, man, like, get into it here. He looked lazy. But other than that, they're very crisp. They have very clean edges. He just seems to like float through those lifts and those throws. They're still one of my favorite pairs teams that's skating right now for sure. I think they're about 5 points off their personal best in the short, and they had some more mistakes in the free skate, which really didn't give them a chance against Tarasov and Morozov. Panfilova and Rylov, I think they finished 5th. They were 4th, I believe, after the short because there was some mistakes by Machina and Galimov. But they ended up placing 5th overall. I thought their twist was superb. Their triple twist is fantastic. They could easily do a quad with that. Like, good for them. She's absolutely stunning in the air. She flies. I feel like she could easily do quad throws. I'm not sure if it's worth it to do that in pairs yet because the risk reward isn't quite there. I believe the last team, if I'm remembering properly, to do a quad throw, correct me if I'm wrong, was actually the Canadian team in the Olympics. Megan Duhamel and Eric Bradford, I think, pulled off a quad, which helped him to win that Olympic solo medal that they won, not from the team event. The only thing I found which didn't really jive with me, especially in their short program, was, I don't know, I didn't jive with their costume and their music. I didn't really like their choices of music. I felt like they were skating to a different piece of music, or they couldn't connect to it, or they were like being forced to skate to that, and I just didn't see that connection, so it kind of ruined it for me. So meanwhile, they have these beautiful lifts and these nice lines and this nice skating from a junior team, by the way, just turned senior. Phenomenal. Their music, I didn't really, and it's weird, like Russians, I think, have a knack for picking odd music. There's been so many times where I've questioned like what Russians have skated to, including Tarasov and Morozov when they skated to their Olympic free skate to that awful Candyman. Like, weird, super weird. This wasn't as weird, but I didn't really jive with it. Machina and Galimov finished 4th. They definitely had a lot of costly mistakes. They missed side-by-side Salchow. They turned it to a single, super costly. I thought their PCS marks were very high, although again, Russian judging, like super high marks all over, but all their PCS marks were over 9. Kind of question that. Like, I don't know if they're over 9s, but I mean, whatever, we'll give it to them in Russia. And you know what? I think the highlight for me for them was their lyrical lifts, and you know, specifically at the end when they had that like candlestick lift where she goes upright into the air and it looks like she's just like standing up. Like, A, it's unique. B, that's like pure core strength and stability from him. That's like insane. And her, like core strength from her and him. And it's so eye-capturing and it's so different. I love it when teams go the extra mile to do something different that we haven't seen. And it's really tough to keep doing that because teams try to reinvent themselves and reinvent lifts and do all these crazy things that you haven't seen before. And there's only so many things you can do. So when a team stands out like that, I think it's like one of those really special moments.
You're not going to score against whatever you feel, electronic.
And so bronze, I believe, was Pavlichenko and Kodakin. They were 144 in the free skate, really, really strong score. You know, Russia is very strong in pairs. Like, they're always strong in pairs, but they have like 5 relatively strong. They have like 3 really strong teams, and then like the 2 other ones after that, 4th and 5th, are like relatively strong pair teams that could all vie for like, well, maybe not world podium, but like good world placings. I don't know of any other nation that has 5 teams that can do that. Like I think Canada's, maybe has like 1 or 2, and then United States like debatably 1. Russia's got like 5. That's pretty crazy. Stunning triple twist. So many Russians have stunning triple twists. Like, I don't know. These like American and Canadian teams need to like take Russian coaching lessons because their twists and their throws are so much on a different level than most of the North American teams. It's not even funny, and I don't even know how they do it. Same thing with the Chinese too. The Chinese teams that like do their throws and their twists are like, their throws are like 40 feet long and like 60 feet high. Like, I don't even understand what they're doing. And then sometimes you see like North American teams and it's like they're struggling to complete 3 revolutions before they come down for a catch. So I don't know. I mean, I'm no Paris coach, but like I definitely see the difference between European and Asian coaching versus like North American style. Anyways, back to Pavlichenko and Kurekin. So they skated very, very well in their free skate. Both side-by-sides were done. They were not perfect, but full scores were given with 1 small negative GOE and the other one had a positive GOE. That was in the 3-jump combo that they had. I also wrote they have lightness to their skating. So again, another team that just seems to like float across the ice. They just have some way of skating where, some teams skate very like clunky and they look like they're working. This team is like complete opposite. They're like feathers across the ice, and I just love that. It's so easy to watch. It brings me so much joy when I see easy skating like that, because it's like you can just like sit back and relax and enjoy what you're watching. And let's touch on ice dance just quickly. So Stepanova and Bukin have won the Russian championships. I don't think that's so much of a surprise, but they had a very high score, 220 overall. I feel like the Russian judges were a bit generous with the rhythm dances. I think they gave a lot of teams the benefit of the doubt on the key points. So there are 4 key points. If you watch the score sheet or the scoring on the TV, when you see them do their rhythm dance, it'll say Y, or N, or a combination of them in the 4. It's hitting those key points from that pattern. So when they're doing the pattern dance around the ice, they're judged on 4 different elements within that element. And to get full marks in GOE, you have to hit the level 4 for the pattern dance and hit all 4 key points. So if you hit all 4 key points, it'll say Y for yes. And I think a lot of teams hit 3 or 4 yeses, and I've paid attention in other countries, even Canada, they were very, very hard to give these 4 yeses. It was hard. I think one of the competitions I watched, I don't even remember what competition it was, but I think one team out of the whole event got 4 yeses, and they were like a prestigious. Was it maybe Skate America or something like that? I don't remember, but I think the judges were pretty easy on that, and I really wish they wouldn't be so easy on that, because I almost feel like your national judges should be harder on you than international judges, because as a national judge, don't you want to give them the best feedback and give them the most to work on to get prepared for an international event? Do you know what I mean? Like, I would want my national judge to get me ready for international judges. I want you to be hard on me so I can get better. One more thing I want to talk about with the key points is I want you to understand what the key points are. I don't think a lot of people know specifically what key points are unless you really, really have looked at the rule books in skating. So what the key points are, when they come up on the score sheet as key points, and you'll see yes, no, or no, yes, or whatever, there are 4 key points in the ice dance. A key point is a step or a series of steps that is paid special focus to during that pattern that is up for evaluation more than the others. Okay, so it might be step 9 and 10 of the ice dance pattern, which might be right back outside swing roll and into Choctaw or Mohawk, whatever it is. there's 4 of those sets of steps that are in each ice dance pattern that the International Skating Union judges will pay special attention to. So if you make a mistake on, let's say, steps 5 and 6, but not on 7 and 8, the ones that are being evaluated, you won't lose those points. You're only being evaluated on the key points on those steps. And so how do you get a yes and how do you get a no? A no is going to be if your step is off time or off beat. A yes will be if you are on time and on beat, and if it's done the correct way. So if let's say, your skate may not be able, your free leg may not be able to pass your front blade on a certain step. If your foot goes past it on that one step and they catch you, you're getting a no for that key point. Do you know what I mean? So they're very, very specific steps that the judges pay attention to that make up the pattern dance score for you. So it's all based on timing, it's based on the step and how correct the step is. If it's on the right edge, all of that stuff matters. So that's how they arrive at the yes or no for the key points. And it's kind of like a replacement for the compulsory dance or something. Remember when they used to have compulsory dances? Oh god, I remember the compulsory dances. Remember back in the day when they used to have the compulsory dance 1 and compulsory dance 2 and they'd be the set pattern dances and you'd have to take your partner and skate around the ice and only do those pattern dances? Like over and over until the judges said like you were done. It's like taking place of that, but you're only going around the ice once and it's a hit and miss once with those steps. You either do it or you don't, kind of thing. If you get a level 4, it means likely I think you've gotten all 4 key points correct with maybe 1 not. I think if you get 2 no's, you're downgraded to a level 3 and then farther on. So like 3 no's would be level 2 and 1 would be 1 kind of thing. I think that's how they score. So each level you lose your key points on and you lose your levels on, your base value of the pattern dance goes down a little bit each time. Anyways, I hope that brought you some clarity because Ian and I had to look that up at some point and I didn't even know what these key points meant. I was very confused by it. So I just want to start by talking about Zagorski and Guerrero. I don't know, for some reason they used to make me, I don't know, I just didn't really like them. Not that I didn't like them, I just never got excited for them. This year, I'm like on their train. How cute was it when he kissed her at the end of that dance like that? Oh my god, that was so cute. She's just so happy on the ice. They have the best music for them. I actually thought their pattern was better, well, to watch than Stepanova and Buchan, to be honest with you, because I think she was having a lot of trouble with that dance. But Zagorski and Guerrero slightly score a slightly oh my god, I can't talk. Slightly lower pattern score than Stepanova and Buchan. They ended up winning silver, so good for them. They're the Russian silver medalists. I would like to comment on Skopkova and Aleshin. Super strong team for being so young. They did not break the 200 mark, but they got a lot of time. They did drop a level and a little bit of a negative GOE in their twizzles. She messed up on her twizzle, and I was actually surprised that it only dropped 1 level. I thought it would drop more than 1 level, but apparently messing up your entire first twizzle like a big time only drops you 1 level. I mean, I don't know if that's like a Russian thing or an ISU judge would have dropped them a few levels. I kind of think they would have gotten burnt a little bit more, but whatever. I like their free dance. I think they're very well done choreography, masked some basic skating that they had. You could tell they weren't full of level 4s and full of like super difficult transitions, and I think they well done choreography masked that a little bit. And I don't mind it when teams do that because it makes it more enjoyable to watch. If I feel like you're in a senior event but you really look like juniors, I'm kind of bothered by that. And they looked like they belonged there because they had such well done choreography, so actually good on them. I think they have a very strong future ahead of them, and you know, as usual, Russian ice dance looks a-okay for the future. And then, the champions, Stepanova and Buchan.
What can I say? It's been a long time coming that they have won the Russian Championships. They skated really well. I thought her ice dance, her rhythm dance, I thought was a little bit rough on her side. I thought she was very tired looking. I thought she was having a lot of trouble. I'm not sure if she felt sick or something. I know there's been a lot of COVID stuff going around with the Russian Federation and stuff like that, and a lot of people not feeling well. So I'm not sure if it's just a case of that or what it was. But you know, she looked a lot better in her free dance. I thought she really came around. She had that lightness back. She was really focused. I thought Ivan skated lights out of both dances, and he saved her butt in the rhythm dance, to be quite honest with you. I just felt like she was really clunky during the rhythm dance, not her usual like upbeat light skating. I thought it was a real struggle for her, but in the free dance I thought she was fantastic. And that Crimea River, you guys, oh my lord, like it's so good. That Crimea River, I've never seen done like that before, and I was super impressed with that. It kept me on the edge of my seat. I was just, the music in my head, I was just like, I was just so good with like the edges and how the music of the beat, like Crimea River, was like, that was my singing, by the way. But it's very like you could extend your legs on the right ends of the notes and stuff like that. I just thought it was a really smart choice from them. And super strong score they had as well. They had 220 overall, like hello. That's pretty damn good. So, drop a comment. Let me know how you liked the Russian Figure Skating Championships and how you enjoyed the Japanese Skating Championships. Let's hope that we have a World Championships to look forward to. This week, I believe, coming up is the United States Nationals. And also, Skate Canada will be streaming online the Skate Canada Challenge. For those of you who don't know what the Skate Canada Challenge is, and I don't know if it's geo-blocked or anything, but I mean, you can look it up. So yeah, the top skaters from there are going to make the National Championships, and God willing, we'll have a National Championships in February in Vancouver for Canada. And yeah, make sure you guys subscribe. Make sure you hit the like button, share with your friends if you like this. And I hope we get to see you guys soon again when we cover the United States Nationals and the Canadian Nationals. Have a great night, you guys. Bye.